Okay, so this morning we're going to try to get this generator going. Now, my dad bought me this generator years ago. It's a good generator. It works and everything, but it's been sitting. You know how generators get. It's been sitting, and I recently moved, and you know it's been sitting for a while. Where I used to live, we hardly ever had any bad storms, and I never had to start it, but a couple times in its whole life. It was underneath my old bench at the old house. Now, you know, at the new shop that I got, this thing is gonna be, having to be ready at will here, basically, because I'm in northern Michigan now, so we have a lot more storms than we did before. So, yeah, let's get it on the bench and let's get to it. Yeah, I know. Who am I kidding? I can't lift that thing up there. We're just gonna have to do it on the ground today because I'm not lifting that thing up there. I have a bad shoulder, so. Oh yeah, let's look at this thing real quick. It's a 8250. It's one of those Chinese made generators, but it's a good generator. I mean, it's powerful, you know. It has a electric start with a key and everything. That battery's probably I don't know, 10 years old, so that's probably no good. I'm gonna have to put a charge on it or something to try to get this thing. But yeah, we're gonna probably just go right into the fuel, because you know when these things sit, actually what we're gonna do first, we're gonna go ahead and dust it off before we go opening up anything, because you just don't want to get in the habit of introducing any contaminants to anything, especially carbureted machines. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing blown off. All right, let's go ahead and get the thing blown off here. Just for the simple fact that, like I said, you don't want to get in the habit of pulling debris from other places and introducing them to, what's supposed to be very clean, hopefully no mice jump out, eh? Now when you're blowing these fins, don't go up, because that'll introduce it to this turbine or whatever the hell you call it. But yeah, you don't want any of that dust or anything like that in All right, that's good enough. Let's get into it, guys. Let's address this. Yeah, let's get this thing a little bit more clean before we start opening it up. know, like I said, it's been sitting underneath my bench at the old house there, because I literally used this thing maybe 3 times in its whole life. I've had it for years. I take that back. I think I've had it for about 7 years instead of 10. I thought I had it for 10, and then I started thinking about it. But, you know, you get the drift. Let's attack that fuel system. I know there's some bad gas in there. Let's look in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's get my flashlight here. Oh, look at there. Found my flashlight first time. How about that? All right. Yeah, that's some crazy looking nasty smells. Oh. Yeah, I would say the smell is between you know, bad gas and you know, grandma's stew that's been left out for a week. I don't know. Yeah, it's bad. So let's go ahead and drain it out. To access this, you gotta go in through the, you know, China, you know, they try to cram everything into one, you know. But I do remember years ago having to clean this carburetor. So the carburetor may not be all that dirty. Yeah, she's looking like she's got a little bit of. I'm going really slow with this part. I don't want to introduce anything to that. You know, let's close that real quick. All right, that's about enough I want to do there. You know. So your main fuel line goes in the back of this one. So, and it's really tight, you know. The line is just very small. I might even take this off and then just do like a little extension and not even try to mess with that yet, you know. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I took this little clip off of there. This has been turned off the whole time, so we don't. I like to turn it off when it sits because I don't want that thing to fill up, get into the combustion chamber. It very well may have done it. I don't know in the past because, like I said, you know, I've even lent this thing out to a fella, and I brought it back, and I've had an issue after that. But you know, like I said, I have not used this but like 3 times in its whole life. But that, you know, with that being said, I don't think, let's get a different hose there. I don't know what's going on there. I don't think that this you know, this thing's got very many uses out of it. You know, with that being said, yeah, it's pretty good, a pretty good straight shot. Okay, let me set you up and let's drain this thing out. All right, let's see what we got in there. I like this little petcock because, you know, you can shut it off, like I said, you know, when you're not using it, so it doesn't fill up the combustion chamber or whatever. But yeah, let's see if there's any water or any contaminants. Yeah, see, that fuel. Yeah, it very well may have water in it because, you know, sitting so long, you know, and then you get that fluctuation of the temperatures going, you know. I mean, I tell customers this all the time. I say, hey, you know, there's fuel in your. Well, I don't put no water. I mean, there's water in your fuel. Well, I don't put no water in there. How in the hell did it get in there? Well, it's from the temperature change, and that ethanol, it'll just suck that moisture right out of there and put it right into your tank. It'll suck the moisture out of the air and put it in your tank. There's a lot of science to fuel. People just, they don't understand some of the things that I tell them. But I try to educate everybody. It also helps me too, because I hate getting contaminants out of fuel. Every time I work on something, I get out of people's fuel. It's just gonna happen, I don't see any kind of big chunks or anything like that, and rust and things like that. So it's always been garage kept. It's never been outside. I know, yeah, right? Finally I'm working on something that I own. I really like this generator. Even though it's a Chinese jobby, my dad gave it to, got it for me. It's real dear to my heart, because he just, he took his hard-earned money. He just, he got it for me, and years ago. And he's like, yeah, I know you like this kind of stuff, and so, yeah, that's my dad's voice, I guess. He just turned 77 the other day. I got to get back home and see him. Yeah, let's continue getting this fuel out. We'll let this bottle set a little bit. Oh, Miracle Whip there. We'll let it set a little bit and see if we see anything on the bottom, any kind of macaroni or anything like that. Yeah, I just want to say something. This right here, you see how good the flow is? Now, that's a good sign. That this can get clogged up too. And there's a little screen in there, and you just unscrew this little, on some of them, you just unscrew that little nut down there, and you can clean out your screen. Don't go buying a new one every time, because, these have the screens in there. I just, wanted to let you know about that there. Well, it doesn't have any water in it. It's been sitting for a while. And usually, you'll see it right down in there, you've seen in my other videos how I do it. Yeah, it smells bad, but it's not got any water in it. So I like that idea. So let's put some fresh fuel in it and see if we get any kind of action. Okay, now that we have all the fuel, gas, whatever, drained out of here, we're going to address this carburetor bowl, because we don't know how the what the hell happened there? We just don't know how the fuel looks inside that carburetor. So you don't want to put new gas on top of old fuel that's in this carburetor. So that's the reason why we do that. Let me get a wrench and I'll bring you back. Okay, so these are 10 millimeter. You get in there a little bit. I mean, most of your Chinese-made generators are just about the same. They're like Honda clone motors, I believe they are. Don't quote me on it. I'm just kind of guessing by the looks of it, But most of them are clones of something, something else. So, but you can get just about all the components for the carburetor and things on Amazon. I know that for a fact. All right, so be careful when you take this cover off. It's kind of like, there you go. And what I like to do, there's a a breather tube in the back here. Hold on, let me get this off here. There's a clamp back there. You get this breather tube off, right? But what I like to do, I like to keep this in the position where it's at and just kind of set that to the side, you know? And then, you know, put your your nuts to the side. This right here, you know, we disconnected this so we can put that drainage tube on there. So let me show you something real quick. So right here, you slowly pull this one out, okay? Now, this one right here has this spring on there, so you got to be really careful. Just kind of like lift it out of there very gently, okay? And it's wrapped around this rod right here. So now when you pull this rod, pull this carburetor out. Come on. Well, what the heck's going on here? Let's pull this out of here. Okay, we got to wiggle it a little bit, I guess. So let me take this tube off of here or put it to the side or something so you can see. All right, so you just pull this out a little bit. Now, this right here, you slide this over and bring this out at the same time. Now, you got to get it to go parallel with each other or you wreck it. You don't want to do that. So go ahead and put this thing here kind of parallel. You're almost taking it all the way out, and then lift up. See how it just popped out of there? Now the whole carburetor can come right on out of there. So I'm gonna put you on the bench and we'll look at this car. Okay, now I almost forgot to show you. This right here is called an anti-backfire solenoid. Now this thing right here, you ever hear that pop after you get done turning something off? This prevents that, and it shuts off the flow of the fuel. So it essentially is electronic on and off switch for your fuel. It's kind of like same thing that your needle and seat does essentially, I guess. But yeah, let's take a Phillips, and we're just going to take that off of there. Okay, I'm going to have to get a better Phillips or something. Let me look at this here real quick. So there's 2 screws right here on each side. You can't pull this off, so don't try to do that. You'll wreck it. So let's see if we can get this off of here. Okay, I'm going to come back with a better screwdriver real quick. Okay, now this is a better screwdriver here. You know, if the thing doesn't fit, never try to force it because you're just going to wreck the screw. All right, this thing's on there. Let's see. There you go. All right, there's 1. Come on, baby. All right, there's 2. All right, now, this thing right here is very important. It damn near won't run without it, believe you. You know, and a lot of people, what they try to do, they try to bypass that, but I like them because, yeah, see what I was talking to you about. See that little pin right there? It goes like that, right? You know, when the, you know, when you turn the switch off, it shuts the fuel off. When you turn the switch on, it shuts the fuel back on. So that's very important. Don't forget to, you know, take good care of that because that's going to be vital for this machine. Now, let's take this back over to the bench. See this right here. See, it has a straight shot right to the bowl, that anti-backfire solenoid. So let's go ahead and take this over there to the bench, and we'll check this out here. Okay. So this, oh yeah, that's already got it's got the same gas that was in that tank. Oh, it smells bad. Yeah, there's probably going to be some macaroni. I hope not, because this machine is not very old. Well, it is old, but it's not been very much used. Generators you know, they tend to do that because, you know, I mean, face it, you're not going to be using it unless you're going to be using it for construction or something like that, or outdoor activity. You know, your average homeowner, oh, that's tight. Your average homeowner only uses it a couple times every couple years, actually, you know. So, yeah, that's this is 14 mil on the bottom of this one. So we're gonna go ahead and unscrew that and look inside there and see if we see any macaroni or anything like that, you know. Oh, look at there. See, it's been sitting so long that that little O-ring gasket, yeah, look, it's all wrecked. So yeah, we're gonna have to try to address that, try to see if we got one laying around here in the shop somewhere. But yeah, let's get this, you know, get this thing opened up here. Yep. Oh yeah. See, there's not that much macaroni in there, but you see there's broke down ethanol fuel in there. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. And so we're just gonna go ahead and clean all this, you know, just like we always do it, you know, with everything else. So you know, even though it's not that bad, essentially, you don't want to take the chance of, you know, doing all of this work, draining out the fuel, getting everything prepared, you know, for the season and everything, and well, doggone it, you know, I forgot to clean the, you know, the bowl, you know. So you know, you just don't want to get in the habit of getting lazy on yourself, you know. Okay, we're gonna put that in the pot. So just take this pin out right here. Okay. Now here comes your needle and seat here. Well, your float and needle and seat. So see this little rubber piece right here on the bottom? You want that nice and, you know, nice and supple, you know, because it doesn't, you know, it won't shut the fuel on and off. It's not nice and, you know, straight and you know, get inside that, you know, that little hole down in there. I'll show you what hole I'm talking about here. So this hole right here, focus, that hole right there is where the needle and seat go. So we're going to go ahead and take this fuel line off. You don't want any kind of plastics or, you know, anything like that getting, see this, oh yeah, this smells really, really bad. Let's see if we can't get this block off of there. It's kind of, I don't know if this one comes off or what. Let's see here. Well, it's not want to come off. So we're not going to force it because we don't have these gaskets here. It may come off in the Vibrasonic, so, you know, oh yeah. So let's get this right here. Let's count the revolutions out. Okay. You start at the top. See where that line is right here? This is cool because they sometimes have a different kind of head on that screw, and you gotta, you know, do some fancy footwork to get it out of there. So let's do it. Let's do it. Half, one, half, two, half, three, half, four, half, five, oh, half, 5.5, nope, 6, yep, 6 turns out, remember that. Okay, you got to count those because it's set. So this one right here is your little jet 2. So you take that one out, and it's got a tiny little jet right there. And I'll show you how to get inside that little jet. This little metal bristle brush, those are perfect for these little jets. I'll show you real quick. See how it just goes right in there? Oh, it's got a little bit of macaroni in there actually. Hold on a second here. So let's see here. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. Yep, it just broke free here. Okay. Alright, let's put that in the pot. Okay, let's put all this in there and oh, I'm getting too ahead of myself again. Sorry. We have to get the emulsion tube out. So take your screwdriver. Now remember, you got to be careful with these emulsion tubes because they tend to crack on you. I'll show you the way that you got to make really sure, damn sure that your screwdriver fits nice and snug, because it's just like a little brass piece, and it'll wreck on you. You know. Okay, so here goes the main jet here. Okay, and then there goes the emulsion tube. Okay, now the way that this goes in, that portion right there goes to the bottom. All right, now let's put both of those in the pot, in the Vibrasonic. Okay, no need to put this in there. No need to put the needle in there because you don't want to heat up that little rubber piece on there too much. Now, just get in the habit of going like this a little bit, right? You know, and seeing if your butterflies are nice and, back and forth and that. Even though this thing looks a little bit clean, you never know what's down inside there. And when you're blowing these out, don't put compressed air down in there, like a bat out of hell, because there's little tiny mechanisms inside this case that are really finicky, So, yeah, let's go ahead and put this in there. Oh, and I forgot to show you. See this nut bolt that I was telling you about? See that little jet right there? That's clogged up. You can't even see through there. Here, let me show you real quick. Now, you get your mechanics wire. This is really good for that. And you stick it inside the hole, but let me show you how gunked up that thing was. See all that macaroni in there? Yeah, that's not good. It just fell out on the bench. So, yeah, go and, I'm sorry about that. Go and, stick your mechanics wire through there before you put it in the Vibrasonic, because, you never know. You may not get the big stuff out right away, and and just be aware that if it's too tough, it may not come out in the Vibrasonic. But just kind of give it a little bit more, help it out before you put it in there. All right. Now I'm gonna bring you back when I put everything. All right. So we're just gonna go ahead and line the bottom with your simple green here. A little bit more. Just line the bottom. That's all you want. This jug right here, lasts me a long time. I've had it, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And because that's all I need. And then the rest is water up to this point right here. And that's all you need. You don't want to make this stuff too strong, because it'll wreck your carburetor, believe it or not, because especially if it's China made, because this right here, it discolor, and then it'll actually start to flake on you. I've had it happen. It took me a while. I went through a lot of chemicals before I found this simple green here. It's very good, and on the back, if you don't know, it'll tell you the strengths. See right here. What duties to mix them at, and I really like that about Simple Green, because they don't tell you just to mix it and go, I mean, in my opinion. Okay, we got the Simple Green in there. We got our water up to that point. We're gonna get ready to turn her on. Okay. Now what I like to do, I like to put mine at 65. There you go. And then it's not that bad. So let's do 10 minutes. Let's do 12. Okay. All right, now here's the heat. Here's the vibration. Oh yeah. Now I tried to use other, like I said, I tried to use other chemicals other than Simple Green before. Let me just show you what happened. Hey, I'm the best cleaner. What you say, boy? I'm the best cleaner. Now, I suggest you get out of here before I kick your butt. Really? I am just too expensive. I might say, I am going to just turn around and go. Really? Man, there's like a gang fight over here or something. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna change the oil too, because it's been sitting for so long. Let's get this pan underneath there. Yeah, I know, another muffin pan, dollar store, of course. But we're gonna have to be careful because I spill everything. It doesn't matter, what it is. It's just gonna happen. But I'm gonna try to be very careful because, yeah, my wife's getting pretty mad about the garage smelling already, and I only been here 9 months. So, yeah, let's get this this drain plug out and see. I have a sneaky suspicion that that there's maybe fuel inside that oil. So we're gonna go ahead and drain it. I'll bring you back and I'll get you set up. All right. Well, let me get something a little more heavy duty. All right, let's try this. I don't think this thing's, well, as I know of, I don't think this thing's ever been off. I don't want to wreck it, but I do want to get it off. Oh my gosh. Huh. Let's see. Wonder why that thing is on there so tight, eh? Let's see. No, I'm just wrecking it there. Let's change. Let's doesn't smell like. No, we're not gonna change that. It doesn't smell like fuel, and it's at the full mark. It's not over full, so I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So it looks like that our carburetor. It looks like the carburetor is done. So yeah, let's get that rocking and rolling real quick. All right, let's get this thing out of here. Before I do that, I'm going to clean my tray here real quick. Let's see. Always got to keep your work surface clean, because you don't want to reintroduce stuff to your, yeah, look how yellow that fuel is. Yeah, So you don't want to reintroduce your clean carburetor with nasty, you know, stuff like that. I chipped my paint there. Huh. Alright. Alright. Let's get down to business here. That looks like it's pretty clear. Let's blow it out a little bit. There you go. Look how clean that thing got. So that's good. Remember, we got to find that O-ring there or whatever. This one here, that guy, it got all wrecked. So let's see. This big fella. Now, you can go inside here, but don't have your pressure up too high. Have it probably like 15 psi, you know. Alrighty. So let's do some assembly here to get our jets back out. Right there. Let's get our motion tube and our main jet here out. These two components there. And let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. This is my favorite part, actually, getting this all back together while it's nice and clean. And you know it's clean because you did it, you know. So don't let anybody else clean your stuff. You clean it yourself. You clean it yourself, and you know it's done right. That's free advice from Lewis Motors. Okay? All right. There we go. Let's see. Like I said, you take your bristle brush here, put it inside that little jet hole. Make sure that's all free and clear. You put that to the side, don't put it back in your tray because you'll be redoing it. Trust me. I know. So, here's your main jet. Take your mechanics wire. Make sure that it goes all the way through. See, I went all the way through. You know, free and clear. That's actually a pretty doggone big jet for this. Oh, she wants to be a turbocharger, does she, eh? So, okay, so now here's the most important one, I think, really. Because this one right here is what sucks the fuel up into the combustion chamber, into the carburetor, and that, you know, from the fuel source. So go ahead and make sure all that's nice and good and clean. And it doesn't hurt to take a little bit of air and reassure yourself that it's all nice and clean. There you go. Okay. Now here goes your needle, your float. What I like to do is I just like to go over it real quick and just do a little bit of patting it down so you're not introducing any of that cleaner into your new clean carburetor. Okay, now let's put the needle and seat on first. So what you do is that you take this here, that portion there, and you slide it underneath this little lip and let it dangle like that. Then what you do is that you put it right on top of there like that, just like it came out. Don't try to do anything fancy with it. Okay? Take your pin. Now sometimes these pins have a fatter side and a smaller side. So what you do is that you kind of feel it having like a little bit of a drag, you know. Okay? Now with your little bit of drag, you can kind of feel, yeah, see that has like a little bit of drag. All right, now this right here, pay attention to this side right here, because you want that to be able to go up and down. See? Okay, now it's going up and down. Now I'm going to show you a little trick how to make sure that that thing is seating. So we're going to go ahead and get a little piece of hose here. Go ahead and blow that out, because you know we used this one for our fuel earlier. It's okay. I've drunk. Don't drink fuel, but you know. So, all right. Now you put this in there, and then you blow. Don't suck, blow. Okay, now you don't get any kind of, but when you lift this float up, you hear the difference? Okay, that's when you know that it's seating. Now you can move on to the next step. That's how I like to do it. Even after, still watch that, because this thing can stick if you're not careful. All right, we'll put our gasket back on there. There's like a little groove there. Get it into the groove, you know, like the, like the song. Groove, baby, groove. I don't know how you say it, but yeah. So there you go. Now, here, before we do that, we're gonna have to try to source. Remember that gasket there. Let me look for one, and then I'll bring you back. Okay. This let me show you here. These O-ring assortments from Harbor Freight. Here's the part numbers. Okay, so the red one is standard, and the blue, purple, whatever you call it, is metric. You know this thing came from, Chinatown, so we're gonna have to use the metric here. I don't knock nobody's stuff. I know I joke around, I say Chinesey and all that, but some products are good from China. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, see this. Yeah, I believe it's this guy right here. So let's see here. Yep. Oh, where you go? You're running away. AWOLing? Where did it go? Now, you know what happens? Oh, goodness. Oh, here she goes. Okay, there you are. Let's get you set back up and stop. You done had a brawl in the shop today and that. All right, here we go. See, yeah, that sits over there very nicely. Right over there. So that's going to work. Let's get our main jet and motion tube. I don't know how you say it, but let's get this. Now, this motion tube, this mechanics wire here, it'll fit inside the big guys up on top, but it won't fit on the little guys down on the bottom. So go ahead and go through all the big guys first, you know, one by one, you know, and you know, some of them are right across from each other, so they'll go right in there, you know. So they'll just go right in there. Okay, all that looks like it's all free and clear and nice. Okay, you go through the top. What I like to do, I go through the top and go all the way through. See how it goes all the way through? Make sure that happens. Because, you know, the last thing you want is just to miss one little step and then you got to start all over again. So let's get our little bristle brush, you know. And look, dollar store. Yeah, see? So don't think there's any, you know, you got to have all the fancy tools to do these things. I mean, just, you know, very little tools to do this stuff. If you want to get fancy about it, you know what's funny? I don't even have my glasses on. Well, what the hell happened to my glasses here? I don't even know. I can't even see those in there to see things. Hold on a second. Let me go get my glasses. You know, I lose my glasses. No, actually, I do got my glasses on. Oh. Do I need a better prescription? Don't know. Hold on a second here. I couldn't even see that little tiny hole there. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, maybe my, okay, there it goes. Okay, I gotcha. Okay. There we are here. Those are very tiny. Very, very tiny on the bottom. And this thing right here. You know, so you got to get real up close with it to get it in there, you know. Or you got to make sure. If they're really tiny, sometimes what I do is I use my little magnifying glass on a stand right over here. This little guy here I got from an old man yard sale years ago. It's even got the little, you know, the hemos. Oh, well, you know, the little clamp there, you know. So, let's see here. So now, you can see, if you've gotten everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually pull one of these little bristles off of here. So I can make sure that I'm getting inside those little, you know, those little holes. Because, like I always say, it's the last thing you want to do. You just pull that off there, you know. You know, the last thing you want to do is go all the way to the finish line and not win, you know. You're not going to get just a halfway and not want to go all the way with these things, because, you know, they'll bite you in the butt. You know, they'll let you down, these little motion tubes, if you don't get them clear. So make sure it's all clear of debris. I know we put it in the Vibrasonic and all that, but you know, if you stick your little wire in there, you know you're physically sticking that in there. See how it goes all the way through? You know that you're physically sticking that in there. You're not relying on a machine to do it for you. You know, even though I love the machine, I just like to do a little extra to make sure, because these are a little pain in the butt sometimes to get rocking and rolling. All right, so, you know, like I say, put your all the way through there. Now we're getting down to the last little bit. We can start putting that sucker on, put some fresh fuel in there, and see what kind of working machine we have. You know, like I said, it's very dear to me, this machine. So, let's see here. There we are. Okay. There we are. You take your 14 mil. Okay. Now, don't try to wreck it by tightening too tight. So you just get a little bit of snug until it you know, don't go all the way like that, you know. Just get, you know, use common sense here for it. For crying out loud. All right, now we got to do that again with that little, with this little thing here for this little plastic jobby. So stick that in there. Now there's a bigger hole on the side there where you can see your wire going in there. So that's what we've seen. Now it goes right here on this side. Go all the way down just like you took it off. You know, it's not going to be any different from disassemble. You know, not going to be any different. So don't think it will. Well, that thing's not want to pop down in there. Does it pop down in there? Usually they pop down in there. Let's see here. What goes on here? Let's see here. What goes on here? Is it not going all the way down in there? Should be like a little. Let's look at this thing. Should be like a little notch right there where it goes. You know, like it has a bit of a snap when you put these in, and I'm not feeling that. Why are we not feeling that snap? Let's get our stuff here back on there. Let's see. Yeah, see, there's a little O-ring right there. It doesn't seem to be wrecked or anything, but it's not going and getting that little snap like I like to hear. So, okay. I think I felt it that time. All right, now remember our turns. Let's do this again. Actually, I'll bring you back. I'm not going to bore you with all that. Okay, now we got everything back together. We're going to slide this back on. Okay. Now, let me bring you over here. Okay, now you're going to barely, here, don't get all tangled up here. What you doing here? All right, now you're gonna be putting this, let's get this back over there. You're going to be putting that little spring, you know, like I say all the time, don't try to stretch it or force it or whatever, you know, just kind of finesse it over there, because these tolerances are very you know, they're very precise. So you know, if you're wrecking it, then it's just not going to work for you, you know. So let's see here. There we are. All right. Now, when you put this on, you rotate. Okay. You rotate it around. It's a little bit difficult to do with one hand, this one. So let's see here. Okay. Let's see. All right, that one came off. You don't want to get all crazy with it, you know. Usually what I do is I hold that part right there and I put that part on there with my, you know, with my other hand. Oh, you get the point. Okay, so now this is how it needs to be. That rod right there and that. So we're gonna go ahead and put the plastic piece back on there, and I'll bring you back once I get it all buttoned up. So what I like to do, I like to get that on there, and then I like to put this on, because if you turn that carburetor, there's a good chance that that float needle, I mean that float pin will slide out, and then your float won't be right. So that's the reason why I don't like to turn, you know, once I get that all buttoned up, I don't like to turn that carburetor around too much. So you just get underneath here a little stubby Phillips there, you know, and go back and forth, you know, to tighten it up, because you don't want, you don't want one side to be different than the other, you know, the torque and that. So just go back and forth, get it seated. There's not an O-ring, or well, there's not a gasket or anything like that on there. So I don't believe so. There was no gasket on there when it came off. So, and there was fuel in there, and it wasn't leaking until we took it off. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and get that nice and snug on both sides. Now I know why it was so tight, because that needs to be airtight for the fuel not to be coming out. All right. So now, remember we left this little plate on there before. So you just bring this little plate, put it down first. Okay. Put your little tube inside there. It kind of just fits in there. It doesn't have any kind of certain way. Let's see here. All right, so let's get it together there, Lewis. All right, now this tube has to kind of like, there you go. All right, so this tube doesn't go all the way down in there. It just like goes like a little bit in there, you know. So, and then this one goes in the rear. Okay, right? Get your clamp on there. See, this one right here doesn't go all the way down in there because it's going to interfere with that carburetor fastener there. So, let's put your nuts back on. Right there. I'm excited. I have not heard this run in a couple of years. A while there, you know. So I'm excited about seeing this run, and I know it's going to be performing once we need it, you know. So just go back and forth with the screws. Let me show you here. Just go back and forth. Make these snug, but not too snug, because you're going to wreck this gasket back there. So once I get that all buttoned up, I'll bring you back. All right. Let's get some fresh fuel in here. We're just going to put a little bit in at first, just to see if we have any leaks. Just a tiny bit. Just enough to get up to that little petcock there. All right. Now we're going to kind of watch. I'm going to kind of watch here. Let's go ahead and release the petcock. I'm going to watch. Because this, you know, like I always say, it's never a sure thing that that float's not gonna stick, you know. So let's see if it's gonna leak or not. You know, especially with that anti-fire solenoid. Yeah, see it's leaking right there. So let's turn this off and see why we got a leak there. Okay. See, we got a leak here. We got a leak down there. Let's see why. You know, why do we have a leak? So maybe it's that the solenoid is not, you know. So let's check that out real quick. Let's go ahead and fire it up with the little bit of gas that we do got in there. I seen a small little leak down here. So I'm thinking maybe it might have to get the little anti-backfire solenoid going there. Let's take our battery back off the charge back here. Okay. Let's unplug it so we don't have any kind of sparkage, because we do have a small leak. Alright. So this is the negative. This is the positive. Alright. Let's see if we have some sort of power here. Okay, it seems to be that our, hold on a second here, maybe we can do this. That our power source isn't that strong. So that battery may have went bad on us. We don't know. So let's see. Now I got the charger hooked up to it. Let's see if we can. No. Let's hook up a stronger battery real quick and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I shut off that petcock, so there's no fuel going back down into the carb except for what's in the bowl. So I got our little pan here, put it on the bottom so it can catch some fuel if it does come out. Let's see the reason why that thing started to leak on us. I mean she runs beautifully. Let's see the reason why that doggone thing started to leak on us, you know, because we need this for the winter. The wife said, get that thing running, stop playing around in that garage. Stop playing. Alright, so now we're getting some fuel out here. I knew that was going to happen. Let's see if I can bring you over here. Now, this thing here is leaking. So I just unscrewed that. It's the leaking fuel, of course, is going to be in the bowl, yes. But why didn't that shut off that fuel, you know? Or there's an O-ring or something. I don't know. You know, maybe there was a cracked O-ring on this. We're going to take this off and I'll bring you back. Let's see what's going on with that thing. Okay, so what we did, I flipped this little O-ring over. It had like a little flat spot on it. So I flipped it over so it could be nice and fresh to go up inside that nut bolt there. So let's put it back together and see if she leaks. Okay, so that didn't work. That turning that around and getting that on that flat spot. So I think I'm gonna try to use one of those on this side also. I'll go ahead and bring you back when I do so. Yeah, let me show you real quick. This is the one that came off. So I went a little smaller, you know, so it can be like, it can spread out, you know, and get like a little bit more of a squish, I guess. Let's try that, because maybe that one just got flattened too much. See, here's the new one on there, so I'll bring you back once I get done with that one now. I mean, this thing is getting on my nerves, but you know, we'll get it. Okay, so now we went ahead and put another one of those little O-rings on there. That did the trick. We have the petcock fully open and everything. Let's put this back on here. Let's see here. Yeah, like that. Okay. Put this guy on there like that. Come on, get on there. Alright, now. Put this guy. Now we're ready to rock and roll, and then we'll see if she charges. I mean, not charges, but you know, produces electricity. Alrighty. Let's fire her up. Alright, well, let's try this one more time. Let's see if that pull cord works too. Oh, doggone it. There we go. Alrighty, another successful repair. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. Stay tuned for more, and remember folks, it's just nuts and bolts. God bless.